phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
The Georgia Bulldog football team just won their first national championship title since 1980 after defeating the Alabama Crimson Tide by a score of 33-18. If you told people that Georgia would be in the national title game and win the national title a year ago, people wouldn't be that surprised, as Georgia had national title hopes heading into the season and they had the hype to back it up. Seeing Georgia in the national title game is not shocking at all with their expectations heading in. The thing that was shocking that nobody saw coming was the person who led them there. The quarterback, Stetson Bennett. The quarterback everyone talked about heading into the season was JT Daniels. He had Heisman hype. He was seen as the quarterback that was going to win Georgia their next natty. But that wasn't the case. The quarterback that led Georgia to the national title game and won them the natty was Stetson Bennett. This is B. Kelly, back again with another banger video. And in today's video, y'all, I am going to be talking about the Stetson Bennett story. From walk-on quarterback to breaking the drought for the national title for the Georgia Bulldogs. Before I move on, remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as we are on the road to 10K. Now let's get into it. To start this video off, we're going to kick it back to Stetson Bennett's high school days and his high school journey at Pierce County High School in Blackshear, Georgia. In 2015, as a junior, it would be his first season as the starting quarterback for Pierce County. In this season, Stetson Bennett would throw for a total of 2,924 yards, 18 total passing touchdowns, only 9 interceptions, while completing 65% of his passes. He could run as well, as he had 547 rushing yards, averaging almost 9 yards per carry, and 11 total touchdowns on the ground. He helped lead Pierce County High School to a record of 7-4. For his senior campaign of high school football in 2016, Stetson Bennett would take his game to the next level, as he threw for 3,724 yards, completed 62% of his passes, 40 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions. And on the ground this season, he rushed for 6 total touchdowns and 490 yards, averaging 6 yards per carry. As a team, Pierce County would end up going 9-4. He would end his high school football career with 6,648 passing yards, completing 63% of his passes, a total of 58 touchdowns through the air, and only 16 interceptions, while rushing for over 1,000 yards in 2 seasons combined, and a total of 17 rushing touchdowns on the ground. Now that you know a little bit about Stetson Bennett and how he was as a high school football player, let's talk about his recruiting journey in high school. Stetson Bennett actually got a name for himself at Elite 11 camps. He wanted to really be an Elite 11 finalist, and he would attend camp after camp during high school, trying to be an Elite 11 finalist. And that's really where he got his name out there, and that's really where he started to get noticed, especially with his U.S. Postal hat he had on to stand out from the rest. He also performed pretty well at those camps too. He even got a top 5 spot at the Elite 11 DC camp in the one that he attended for the 2017 recruiting class. Although he didn't end up being an Elite 11 finalist, all in all, this was a great thing for Stetson Bennett, as Stetson Bennett got noticed and he had his name put out there because of his play and how he stood out with the U.S. Postal hat, getting the name the Mailman. Now, this was great for him at the Elite 11 camps. As I said, he performed well, and if he didn't attend these camps, Stetson Bennett might have not been looked at as much coming out of high school as he was. As a high school prospect, Stetson Bennett was not really seen as a top guy in the 2017 recruiting class. He ranked as a 2-star recruit. He was ranked outside of the top 2,500. He was ranked as the 104th best pro-style quarterback and the 286th best player in the state of Georgia. He held a total of 4 Division I offers coming out of high school from Columbia, Georgia Southern, Mercer, and Middle Tennessee State. He would not attend either of those schools, as he would end up walking on at Georgia, his dream school, the school he's wanted to play for his entire life. Stetson Bennett, in his very first season at Georgia as a true freshman in 2017, he would end up redshirting and being a scout team quarterback. He was praised as a very good scout team quarterback and was one of 4 winners for the Offensive Scout Team Player of the Year award at Georgia. But he wanted a better opportunity and a bigger role on a team, so he would end up transferring after this one season at Georgia and going to the JUCO level at Jones College in Ellisville, Mississippi. In his one season at Jones College, he would have his fair share of ups and downs as a starting quarterback, as in 12 games played, he threw for 1,840 yards, 16 touchdowns, while completing 56% of his passes and 14 total interceptions. As a JUCO recruit in the 2019 recruiting class, Stetson Bennett ranked as a 3-star, the 166th best player in the nation, and the number 6 pro-style quarterback. He held a total of 5 Division I offers coming out of JUCO from Samford, Louisiana, Kent State, UMass, and Georgia. He would return to Georgia. Stetson Bennett was back as a Georgia Bulldog in 2019, this time as a scholarship player. But nothing really changed for his expectations. As Stetson Bennett, he was expected to be a backup quarterback, and he was expected to be nothing more than just a backup quarterback, not even the second-string quarterback. In his first season back at Georgia as a redshirt sophomore in 2019, he played in 4 games as a backup, completed 74% of his passes on 27 attempts, threw for 260 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 interception. On the ground, he also had 1 rushing touchdown. Going into Stetson Bennett's redshirt junior season for 2020, things were not really looking good for Stetson, as it really seemed like Stetson was probably not even going to see the field at all in that season, unless it was just an ungodly blowout. And this was mainly because the quarterback room and people in front of Stetson Bennett, it was Jamie Newman, JT Daniels, and Dwayne Mathis. And Stetson Bennett was going to be the 4th-string quarterback. And if you know college football, you know the 4th-string quarterback doesn't play at all. However, that was not the case. Stetson Bennett would play in 2020, and he would play way more than anybody expected. Even started 5 games for Georgia in 2020. And this was because Jamie Newman opted out. JT Daniels was hurt in the beginning of the season, and Dwayne Mathis was struggling like nothing else. So they needed someone to come in and take his spot, and that was Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett finally got his shot to show people what he was about. In the 10-game season for Georgia, he started in 5 of the games, and he played in a total of 8 games. In this season, Stetson Bennett completed 55% of his passes, threw for 1,179 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a total of 2 touchdowns on the ground. It's not the best season ever, but for a quarterback that wasn't expected to play at all, it was okay. Now, heading into the 2021 college football season, Georgia had the national title on their mind, and everybody thought the quarterback was going to be JT Daniels. And in fact, the quarterback heading in was JT Daniels. Stetson Bennett, he was the backup quarterback. And fun fact, Stetson Bennett was actually considering transferring before the season to get a better opportunity, but he wanted to get his degree from Georgia and finish out the season. Stetson's role this season was supposed to be the backup quarterback, the guy that would come in and be the first guy to come up after Georgia was laying it in on their opponent, and he would get some garbage time playing time while they were up by a lot. But that would change, however, when JT Daniels got hurt very early on, and he would be jumped back into the starting quarterback spot. But this time, when JT Daniels was healthy, unlike 2020, Stetson Bennett would remain the starting quarterback. Stetson Bennett didn't lose the job when he came back, and honestly, I don't know why he would. He was playing consistently, he was playing good football, and Georgia was winning games. Why would you sacrifice the flow of everything going on in the offense and the team to start the guy that's been hurt? JT Daniels is a great quarterback, and JT Daniels is going to more than likely be the starting quarterback in 2022 and have a good season. But at the moment, to me, it just didn't make any sense to throw JT Daniels back out there when Stetson was playing just fine and Georgia was winning. Now, for Stetson Bennett's year for 2021, he played well, although he did get some hate in the season because he's not the best quarterback in college football. Overall, the season was still pretty good and he was consistent. He completed almost 65% of his passes, threw for 2,862 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And more importantly, he won the national title. Stetson Bennett was never supposed to be in this position to be the starting quarterback to win and break the drought for Georgia and win that national title. He was not supposed to make it this far. In fact, he was never ever really supposed to play a game at Georgia. He's been doubted since he was in high school as a recruit. He was doubted in JUCO, and he was even doubted at Georgia, as he was told he would probably never play at all. If the Stetson Bennett story can tell you anything, it's to not give up and to not listen to the doubters. Well guys, if you made it this far in the video, remember to smash that like button, turn on those post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly out.